Why equal money? Money has become part of the very fabric of consciousness, part of the very fabric of the human, and its interaction within all relationships, social, economic, family, religion. Everything is gauged, directed, is the result of money. And a lot of harm has been done in the name of money. Therefore, equal money in itself is a form of medicine. It's a form of healing. As you already see with those reacting to the equal money idea, they are either reacting from a scarcity idea or from a wealth and control idea or from the whole idea of hating money. There are so many things to be healed before we as a human race can actually consider what it is we're here to do and why we haven't taken our custodianship to an effective living way of expression where we are supporting all those living things that do not have the abilities we have. I mean, we are in essence supposed to be the slaves of those that cannot look after themselves, not because we know more, it's because we know less. We are, after all, being taken care of by plants and animals and the sun and the earth, and we as the human race cannot replace that which is given to us by plants, animals, by our environment. I mean, what makes our life possible. We can't replace it even with money. Money is purely, initially, equal money is purely initially a way, a substance, a gateway to healing the human race and getting all the hidden agendas out. It's not going to be a magical, beautiful way, and it'll take many years. We're already busy training people to work with the hidden psyche, the stuff, behaviors, relationships that has caused so much of the harm that is existent in the world today. Now, equal money obviously is also linked to the other thing that everyone seems to not want to consider, and that is politics. All powers to be that is in this world currently, the authority through a democratic process did so through politics, where the majority of the people voted for a policy, for a way of governing the world, for a way of life. Obviously, those that never had a proper answer for this world didn't go political, they went revolution. They try and force their way into existence. You can't do that. You have to do this in a way where every participant understands what it is that is to come, and that they agree that that will be what's best for all, best for themselves. Now, the interesting thing about equal money is that it's not only best for all, it's also best for every individual. So you're covering both sides of the decision-making process, the reason. But you're covering all the fears that are causing many to form groups within which they are trying to protect themselves from other groups. You are in fact ending the very fabric, the very fuel, the very foundation from which war come in this world, that of profit, that of fear, that of control, that of corruption and deception. The healing process will bring about eventually a new human, a human that at this stage we can barely begin to imagine. Our imagination has been tainted with money in every way possible because we have formed relationships within the mind with all types of pictures of self-value that are inevitably, intrinsically dependent on money, and therefore many decisions we've made to try and make our imaginary world's reality has been based on the money connection that entered our world. Many beautiful women have simply made decisions to marry because of money. No matter how they say that is not true, if they go self-honestly through their process of thought, they will get to the point where they've actually made that decision, where they have used the process of elimination to establish what will be the best way to accumulate their life, the greatest security, and prepare their world for making most of their dreams come true. And within that context, they will make certain compromises. Many people has done that, even employees, people that is part of political agendas. It's all about money. Money determines what people stand for. People, the leaders in the world's been created by money to protect certain vested interests. And these vested interests make sure that their investment gets protected politically. They're not interested in what's best for the people. They're interested in their money. Now, even from a certain perspective, those people will be taken care of in an equal money system. They will not have the abundance to the degree that they have now, where they can manipulate and abuse and pay people to be their slaves. That won't be no longer possible. So they're going to have to do some of their shit themselves. And if you can't get people to work together with them because they are unhappy about all the abuse that happened in the past, they're going to have to do some more initially, until we have sorted out all the hidden avenues of revenge that is still waiting karmically to explode into this world and destroy our realities. You know, the fascinating thing is that death, in a way, is a protection against karmic law, because if death didn't happen so soon for the human, the karma would have wreaked havoc with their lives, and many never get to a point where they can actually pay karmically for what they have done. And by the time they get to the afterlife, it is too late. And when they reincarnate in the old system, they can't remember, so how can they pay for what they can't even remember? So the whole memory thing keep on coming up. Unfortunately, in this world there are gazillions of memories of abuse linked to money. And equal money, in a sense, would cause massive healing to take place. Healing that will make it possible that the altruistic, compassionate, benevolent side of the human may emerge at last, and where one can truly start to act like a living thing with awareness. Currently, the human do not have awareness. It's got consciousness, and consciousness is the knowing reality. Consciousness is what you know about your reality. It is your knowing about how things work, and interspersed, interwoven within this knowing, this consciousness of how this reality works, lies money everywhere, every step of the way. Without it, nothing of consciousness will move. Fascinating that those that's trapped in consciousness refuse to consider what is the building block of consciousness. It's not love, it's love of money. But everybody stop at the word love. Even if it is in every window waiting for you to be bought. Through all the various ways that products are presented to the consumer. And you're consuming it because you love it. But it would never land in your hands. It will never become part of your possessions, your possessed nature without money. So all possession as it exists as money, and equal money will assist to a massive proportion with the healing of the letting go of the obsession, the fear of survival, the obsession to possess, the obsession to be better, the obsession to compete, the obsession to just be obsessed, the obsession to believe that somehow you had no choice, therefore you are righteous because you have some deity somewhere that has approved of this mess to exist and that actually must have printed the money. I mean, that's to the degree that this go in the obsession, that the money that lands in your hand, there are those that believe that God gave it to them. And it is obvious obsession and delusion of a serious nature because it caused much harm in the world. Yet everyone stands away because they fear what happens if they don't have money. There is no greater fear in the world than the lack of money. No one fears that as much as they would admit. You think the fear of God is something bad? That's nothing. You just put money in front of a person to choose between God and money, and they'll choose money every time. Because they fear suffering, they fear pain, they fear what will happen if they have no money, because they know, every human being knows, God never answers the prayers, it's money that answers your prayers. But then you can always say, God sent me the money. Without proof, you can claim that, obviously. But that in itself has been part of the problem of the money system, of the economic systems in the world, of the total environment as it exists as a social system. And it requires a definitive directive point to bring to an end the mindless cycles that seems to go on for infinity to such a degree that there is even a belief that infinity exists and that one will eventually find your way through all of this. If you go and do the equality equation, you do your basic mathematics, you'll see it is impossible to get out of this unless you stop and start a new system that is best for all. And unless you heal and use the tools that is here to heal with. Therefore we say equal money. It is the quickest way for the human race to heal. It is the quickest way for all the delusions to come out and for the obsessions to show their face so we can deal with them. It is not going to be a pretty face for a little while, but once we have done this, once we have walked through the forgiveness and we have walked through the understanding of self-honesty in terms of what is best for all, we'll be astounded at how simple it really was. At this stage, so, understand those that are in the process of preparing the way and preparing themselves to lead the way, that this will take time. It is a slow process and we have to do the transition through political means, bringing about the new world through the money that is part of the old system. You have to make sure that you are actually able to support yourself and support those that will walk on your behalf to bring about the changes in this world. Make a commitment, because it's not much that is required from each one in this world to bring about the change. But yet, one must realize that in spite of not much being required, there is such a delusion within the human race that no one can believe that anyone can stand for what's best for all. Yet, everybody wishes this best for all. Somewhere you're going to have to make a decision to actually bring about what's best for all and to support what's best for all. And yes, you can't have the control of the outcome. You have to use common sense and the accumulation effect of many working together as one to bring about a result that is equal to what is best for all.